The leaf. I want to tell you a little story about the leaf. Each leaf contains water, and in each drop of water, there are two particles. There are two hydrogens, and there is one oxygen. With the help of the sun, the green part of the leaf, as we see in the chart here, separates the hydrogens from the oxygen. Then there's a gas that comes in from the air, and that gas is called carbon dioxide. That is also made up of two particles, one carbon and two oxygens. That gas gets mixed with the hydrogens, and they are cooked into plant food to feed the rest of the plant. You know what happens to the oxygen that wasn't used? That oxygen gets thrown out of the leaf as a waste product. We can see it's just like a little factory. The water being carried up through the stem of the leaf. We see the particles getting separated by our leaf workers. We see the carbon dioxide coming in from the leaf and getting dumped in, all the particles getting dumped and mixed together and baked with the energy of the sun and carried to the rest of the plant through the conveyor or the elevator for the food. And then over here, we see our excess oxygen getting dropped off. That's the main function of the plant, is to make food, and that process is called photosynthesis. It's a chemical reaction that happens inside the plant where carbon dioxide and water, plus energy from the sun and chlorophyll in the plant, make plant food. And that plant food, that chemical, if you're looking at the chemistry composition, is called C6H12O6. And there is some excess oxygen that gets released. Here are some possible explorations. Where do you see leaves working to get sunlight? Holly and ivy climb up. Why? To get to the sun. The leaves of citrus trees are formed in such a way and organize themselves so that they don't block the light from one another. Willow trees and hedges also have some interesting ways where they utilize getting sunlight. You could even look into where you see leaves struggling to get light, or early rising plants that come up through the ground before the trees start to leaf up and bloom. And why do those plants early rise? You could research further the chemical reactions in photosynthesis or research chlorophyll. There's also an experiment idea. Pick a house plant and put it in a window that gets a lot of sun. Look at the way that the leaves are oriented. A day later, turn the plant 180 degrees so the leaves now face away from the window. And check back in the next day. Which direction are the leaves facing now? You see, the leaves will turn themselves to the sun. This is a pretty silly Montessori chart, but when you think about it, it's like the cells of the leaf are worshiping the sun. It's like the leaf is a temple. The tree is a temple, turning towards the sun, worshiping the sun, because that's where it gets its energy to create food. Another function of the leaf is stomata. Those are small pores on the underside of a leaf. Stomata comes from the Greek word stoma, meaning mouth. When the stomata are open, it takes in carbon dioxide and lets out excess water vapor. An experiment would be to water a houseplant and tie a clear plastic bag around it. Place that plant in the sunlight. And on a sunny day, you'll see condensation from the water vapor on the bag within a few hours. It's pretty cool. Keep in mind also, we've talked about this a little bit with photosynthesis, but plants give off oxygen. And plants and humans essentially need each other. So through photosynthesis, plants create food and excess oxygen, which gets released into the air. Humans breathe in oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. It's a good relationship.